Alright, let me just unlock this thing on my Ironman real quick. Unlock. Wait, I got a video idea. So about 4 years ago, the old school Runescape team confirmed that there are over 11,600 different individual items in the game. On an Ironman, you can't buy any of these off the Grand Exchange. Every item is something you need to unlock by yourself. Some unlocks are more important than the others though. So here's a list of 5 of the most important things you should focus on unlocking as early as possible. There were a lot of things that would have fit the list, so I'll include an honorable mention also. The Iban's staff. This weapon is something that most mains will never use, but for Ironman, it's easily the best magic weapon until you unlock the Trident of the Seas. The problem with the Trident is that it's dropped by cave krakens, for which you need 87 Slayer to kill. Since that milestone is not something that comes quick, you will use this staff at many bosses, such as Barrows, Crazy Archaeologist, Dagonath Rex, and maybe even Zulrah. You can unlock this staff by finishing the Underground Pass quest, which you can do pretty early on, as it has low requirements. Since you don't use magic as much as melee, I figured it didn't deserve a spot in the actual top 5. What deserved it for sure though, is the number 5, the Dragon Defender. This is a big unlock since it's the best melee offhand you can have until the very end game. The only upgrade currently is the Avernic Defender, which you can make from combining the Dragon Defender with a drop you can get from the Theater of Blood. If you're unaware, that's a 5-man raid in the game, and it's definitely not something you want to do if you're under level 90 in combat stats, especially if you have never done it before. You can unlock the Dragon Defender by having your attack and strength levels combined make up to 130, after which you can go to the Warriors Guild and kill Cyclopses for all the defenders. Due to this unlock being very late in the early game, many would even consider it mid-game. It's not as high up on the list as some other unlocks, such as number 4, 43 Prayer. Getting 43 Prayer gives you access to all 3 of the protection prayers, which in many PvM scenarios can negate all damage dealt to you. This makes it huge for every boss you kill, and also Slayer, especially coupled with prayer flicking so you'd lose less prayer points. There are many ways to achieve 43 Prayer. If you're not a hardcore Ironman, you can offer all kinds of bones at the Wilderness Altar for the best possible XP per bone. Popular ways of getting bones in the early game are from green and blue dragons, or even lava dragons for their additional loot. Some people also get to the milestone by camping moss giants for big bones, as they are also good combat experience and drop many other useful goods, such as seeds, herbs, runes, and mossy keys to kill the moss giant boss. But not even 43 Prayer can protect you from a cheesy segue to me telling you to subscribe, so please do. Other than that side note, there's also many combat encounters that don't require prayer, but every single one requires a weapon, so the prayer is ranked just under our spot number 3, the Dragon Scimitar. I actually didn't plan on including this in the list, but after realizing that there's a massive requirements gap between the Dragon Scimitar and the next higher DPS weapon, I knew I had to include it. You can purchase this weapon for 100,000 GP after completing the Monkey Madness quest, and it's definitely something you want to use as soon as you get to level 60 attack. Why? Well, for most players, the next best melee weapon you're going to use is the Abyssal Whip, which is dropped by the Abyssal Demons. The problem? 85 Slayer. The whip is massively stronger and one of the most important unlocks in the mid to late game, but the Dragon Scimitar is going to see some good mileage before that. Other weapons that are also better than the Dragon Scimitar include the Sarachnis Cudgel, Staff of the Dead, Zamarakian Hasta, and Abyssal Dagger. All of them are dropped by bosses, and you are likely not going to get any of these before getting the whip. Do you want to know what's more useful than the best early melee weapon? Running. So our list entry number 2 is the Graceful set. If you hate agility, I'm with you, but I also hate walking, and this is something that the Graceful set helps out with. The full set gives a 30% bonus to your natural run energy restoration, and a 50% bonus from the agility levels you gain from doing the rooftops. Check out this graph to understand its influence better. At level 1 agility, it takes you 12 minutes and 30 seconds to go from 0 to 100% run energy. At level 54 agility with full Graceful, it only takes 4 minutes and 33 seconds. That's close to 3 times as fast. So think about it. You do a lot of combat, but you do even more traveling. So the extra running you can do by wearing this set adds up super quick if you're doing quests, clues, farm runs, and well, any other activity that involves movement. It's influential enough that it's one of the first relatively big grinds you should get out of the way, even though it's included in my top 5 list of the worst essential grinds video you can see in the upper right corner if you wish to check it out. The set has no requirements other than doing agility. You get marks of grace from rooftop agility courses, and for 260 of those marks, you can buy the full Graceful set. If you do as many rooftops as possible on your agility training from the start, you will usually get the 260 marks somewhere between 53 and 58 agility. ability. But there is one thing even better than running. It's our list entry number 1, teleports. At first, these were separated into 3 different entries on the list, as there are many ones that are just that essential, but to fit a few more items on the list, I combined them under this overall teleports term. RuneScape has a massive map, and running through it is ridiculously slow, so any teleport you have unlocked will add up to save you hundreds upon hundreds of hours in travel time throughout your journey. The most important teleport you should unlock as early as possible, in no particular order, are: firstly, the Chronicle. It's for teleporting near Varrock in the very early game, before getting 25 magic. It can just be bought from Django in the Draenor village, so this is an easy one. Secondly, the Ardougne Cloak, by finishing the Ardougne achievement diary, which takes you to the Ardougne Monastery. It's a teleport you're going to be using a lot, as it's close to a fairy ring, close to a prayer altar, and also close to the city of Ardougne. Thirdly, the fairy ring system. This system unlocks a ton of teleports all around the map, many of which are the closest teleports to your destinations. It is unlocked by starting the Fairy Tale 2 quest, which also has some prerequisite quests, such as the Lost City, Fairy Tale 1, and Nature Spirit. Fourthly, Spirit Trees, by finishing the Tree Gnome Village and Grand Tree quests. The most useful Spirit Tree teleport, in my opinion, is to the Tree Gnome Stronghold, as it's a place you're going to visit quite frequently, but has no other early teleports near it. Fifthly, the game's necklaces and dwelling rings. To make them, you need 22 and 27 crafting respectively, and also level 7 and 27 magic to enchant them. The game necklace provides you an early cheap teleport to the bank at the Barbarian Outpost, and also useful teleports to Birthdrop and Wintertot. The dwelling ring is even more useful, due to its teleport to Ferox's Enclave, which is close to a bank, but more importantly, it has a pool of refreshment, which fully restores your health, prayer, run energy, cures poison, and resets all lowered skills. In the Enclave, there are also other useful things, such as a Soul Wars portal, Death's Office, Last Man Standing and Clan Wars minigames, and also is close to a Wilderness Obelisk for further teleporting. Sixthly, all the teleports in your standard magic spellbook, taking you to places such as Varrock, Lumbridge, Valador, your own house, Camelot, Ardougne, and later on to the Watchtower, Trollheim, Ape Atoll, and Current Castle. Mostly, all you need to do for this is train your magic level and have a few law runes, but some of the teleports also require a few quests. If you enjoyed this top 5, teleport yourself for free to the next top 5 video on the screen, as it is likely you will enjoy that one too. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.